Hey, how you doing? My name is Tony Hendricks. This is a quick video. This is not professionally produced or anything like that. Basically, if you have a laser that has a crosshair guide, like the Xtool D1 is what I have, and when I'm framing up, I have the option to use the actual laser itself or this little crosshair. If you have a laser that gives you that option for using a crosshair, then watch this video. I'm going to show you how to make your own jig or product template if you are running a job where you are running multiples. A good example is I developed this when I had to do coasters. I had to do 50 coasters, and I was able to make a template where I could do 6 coasters at a time. There's plenty of really good videos out there by people a lot smarter than me on how to make these templates, especially if you don't have the crosshairs. And I recommend to watch some of the other videos on you, and if you're using Lightburn, especially on making templates. I am not a professional. I am a guy who is, I guess, a total novice. I've had my Xtool for about a year and I get by. How about that? But this template is super easy to make. I'm going to be making it in Lightburn today. However, you could probably, for the most part, actually, I know you could, pretty much of this template, you could recreate in Creative Space, minus just a few things. But to do what you need to do, you could recreate this in Creative Space. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I made this template. I'm not going to cut the template because I already have this template, but I will show you what the template looks like. Then I will show you how I run the jobs using the template. All right, so let's go ahead and get started here. Again, I'm using Lightburn, and I have an Xtool D1 10 watt. So the first thing I do when I make a template is I go in and I make like my workspace, if that makes sense. Um, and 15, and actually this would probably work somewhere around there. Um, just the space that I'm going to be utilizing to put everything in. The next thing I do is so we're going to make this for 3-inch circles I used to make like dishwasher magnets. So I will go in here, make my, oh, it's unlocked. Should have had that locked. Make my 3-inch circle. And then I'm going to come back here and I'm going to make another small circle. And this circle is what I use to make it easier to pull out the finished piece, if that makes sense, because they're pretty tight fit. So I'm going to take that and highlight both of them, and then I am going to make that little tab. And again, I had a smaller circle. There's plenty of videos out there on how to use Lightburn. And they're like Louisiana Hobby Guy. There's a bunch of really good creators out there who will show you how to use this software that will frustrate you at first, but the software is amazing. So that is what I am going to be utilizing here to put my little discs in. And what I will do now is duplicate that and then just set up my rows here on how I want these to be arranged. Usually what I will do, and then we'll duplicate all of these, we'll put these over here, which looks good, and then we will, well, try that again. We will duplicate this and put that up here. This is actually going to be a better template than the one I actually have. Then we will duplicate that. Like, I almost wonder if I should make this. No. And we'll put that right here. So this pretty much is the gist of my template. These are all of the products. And what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to put them on their own layer. So we have those there. And then one more thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the pencil here and I'm going to make a straight line. Well, maybe. Just like that. And then I'm going to take that straight line, put that on its own. And then we're going to duplicate that bad boy, take it, rotate that, and then we're just going to put that right there. Just like that. Grab that, and I'm going to join those. That way they're just always together, and that is my makeshift crosshair. I'll put that on a darker. There we go. Now this right here is what is going to be really important because it's going to end up right there, and I'll show you why. I'm going to center that crosshair with my actual work area just to make sure, and it was just to make sure it's right there in the center, and then I'm going to join them. I mean, really at this point I guess I could join the whole thing, but that right there is the template. So what I would do next is I'll set all this up to cut, and I would go in and put in all my settings, my air system on there, to cut all of this out. And I usually use cardboard to cut it out. So I would run, get my laser, cut this out of the cardboard, and then I will be back to show you the next step. All right, so I'm going to ask you first not to judge my messy little work area here, but this is basically the jig. Not like the one I made on there, but this is the jig that I did make. So you can see I make it out of cardboard. When I did this one, I did not give it enough power to cut it. However, I didn't feel the need to go back for a second pass because it still serves a purpose I need it. You can also see on here, and I would recommend, I did not do that when I was putting the one together in Lightburn before, but I put top on this one just because if you didn't know and it didn't say top, you would have no idea. And that does matter. If you put this in upside down, your circles may be off. So you're always going to want to know where your top is. Even if you just hand write it on there, you don't have to put it in like that. My other jig, as you can see right here, let me grab this. I hand wrote it on there. Top, bottom. I guess obviously if I know where the top is, I don't need the bottom, right? But I hand wrote it on there. But you can see the consistent thing is the spaces for the product and those crosshairs. All right, real quick addendum to that video, because I thought I recorded this part, but apparently I did not. So I'm just going to tell you. Once you cut your template out and everything looks good and you're going to use it and you don't need to go back and revise it, you want to take all those layers in Lightburn that you use to make that template. I don't think you can do this in Creative Space. Actually, I'm pretty sure you can't, but I don't think there is a tool option. You can do layers in Creative Space, but you can't do this. So you want to take all those layers for your template that are in Lightburn and turn those into a tool. At the very end of your layers, there's a T1, T2, I believe that's what it is. Those are tool layers. Those are layers that you can utilize to frame your product or to basically show where things are going to be, but it doesn't get sent to the laser, if that makes sense. So you're going to throw that template into a tool layer, and then you're going to save that template. That way you have it for future uses. It's just kind of like a master copy. Point, which right down here for our job origin, and you have the same option in Creative Space. We're going to start this job in the center, right there on our crosshair. All right, one more really important thing that I failed to mention. As you can see, I'm not very good at these videos, so, but I failed to mention this, and this is very important. So your job origin needs to obviously be in the middle, and your start from point needs to be current position. So that means wherever I put this laser, which, as you will see here soon, depending on where I put this addendum in the video, I'm going to put the laser crosshairs right on the X in our template, and it is going to start from that current position. So that is a very important part that I forgot. Sorry about that. And then we can go into here and then load up what we want to put on each one of these circles. Autosave, I don't know why that's there. I have one, for example, I told you I do dishwasher magnets. No, we're not going to save that because I already have it. And as you can see, it's my original template, which the template, let's go to the, yeah, is still on its tool right there. This is all on the tool layer. And then my images that I'm putting on to my magnet are right there. So if I wanted to run this job, I will show you what that looks like, but I have everything set up there for my, because this is being run on basswood, so this is the settings I like to use to get a nice dark engrave. That's there. This is set up for the center. We would then kick on the laser and I will show you what that's going to look like. So I'm going to show you now. We're going to go ahead and get this one ready, and I'm going to show you and basically how this works. And I just go ahead and put these wooden discs in, which I'm probably going to go ahead and pause this so I can just load them, because I'm sure you know how to do this part. Alright, so I have my air assist on, my laser is on. As you can see, there are the crosshairs I was speaking of. There they are. So that's why this template is so easy to do. In other templates, you have to have points of reference, so that way the laser, and you have to move it, and you have to have Lightburn to do it, so that way you can move the laser to the points of reference, and then it uses those calculations to line up the rest of your job. Just doing it this way means you can do this on Creative Space, you can do this on Lightburn, you can do it wherever. And simply what it involves is just really making sure that you are on that center right there. So let me see if I can start this here. Just I wish I had a tripod to do this. I'm sorry, y'all. But we'll go ahead and actually get this one running. I'll show you what's going to happen. So it's going to start out down here and just pretty much go across each one. I know people say about, especially in Lightburns, you can change up how these are grouped and then do them individually. Obviously I haven't done that. And I didn't even think I was going to cut that for this job, but you can have this set up to do each one individually. This one's going back and forth, as you can see, but the long and short of it is it's going to cut all of these, or engrave all of these at one time. So instead of having to do one at a time or trying to line them up, you can literally use this template and then you can get 10 done at a time. So I really hope that helps. Again, this was not a professional video at all. I just tried to make this to help some people out.